Alright, what is up? Another round 1 series has been completed and is about to be casted by ya boy, Tony G. And this one is going to get the Tony G guarantee that this is going to be the best series so far. Possibly one of the best first round matchups that there is. We have Scan, the Korean, going to be Zerg this time, versus Legend Evil, going to be Protoss this time. So we should be starting off with an absolute banger of a first match here. And this series, I know for a fact is going to make up for those first two lackluster series. Let's see how she goes. Scan going to be opening up with that hatchery first, and let's see. Evil looks like he is going to go for the Nexus first here. We are going to just speed up the first couple minutes. We can see that he is getting his spotting pool before the Overlord, which is important just to make sure that you're not dying to any kind of mid-build or Terran choke barracks. And okay, now we actually are going to go back to normal speed because we do have a forge here right away for Legend Evil and a super quick gas before gateway here. So looks like he's going to be going for a super tech heavy and very macro greedy game here. Is going to be able to scout Scan on his second little spot here, and going to be, well, never mind, going to be able to get that Sun Colony up without too much pressure here. And now Scan has to react like this is some kind of mid build or pressure build from Evil here, so he isn't going to be able to get too greedy on anything here. It's going to be pumping out 2 lings. Looks like he's building another additional 2 lings, so he's going to have 4 lings. Okay, 4 lings already out, so he's going to have 6 Zerglings going to be popping out here. And these cannons are going to be up in time before he will be able to get any scout off. But if he is able to scout, probe goes down. If he is able to scout that the Protoss didn't even invest just the 300 minerals into this choke, that he is probably doing some kind of Nexus tech build. But they can also be deceitful and go for the choke into a mass because it's going to throw the reverse psychology off. And yeah, we shall see how this unveils. We see that very quick Cybernetics core for Evil, building 1 single Zealot here, not splitting up his lings here, which is a little bit odd that he is scouting with 2 lings instead of splitting them up, covering double the ground here. Did invest into 3 Sunkens, and he's keeping 4 lings at home. And now just starting his gas is Scan. 2 gas, which is quite a bit of gas, only on 3 additional hatcheries. He is now going to scout what is going on for Evil, and he should be able to relax a little bit at home and just prepare for the inevitable drops that are going to be coming. We do see the Citadel of Adun and the robotics facility being built right now super quickly as well, and a Dragoon going to come out to deny any Overlords and kill any Overlords. I imagine that's what the purpose of that is. A very quick Hydralisk Den being built by Scan here. And Evil is now going to attempt to build some cannons at the choke of Scan to prevent any kind of quick Hydralisk mass from coming out. Another creep colony is being sent out here, and the Overlord is actually going to be hunted down by this Dragoon here, and is actually going to possibly be able to take, definitely going to be able to take that Overlord out before it runs into the space for cover. Meanwhile, the Zerglings are going to run out here to try to protect the Overlord, but at the same time, it's going to see what Evil's little strategy is here, take out that first Zealot here, and going to be able to prevent this choke from going up, which is a big time move here, actually, from Scan here. A quick layer now coming out too. Still on 2 gas, getting that Hydralisk speed, so maybe just a couple Hydras for defense here. Templar of Archives and a 3rd Nexus coming down for Legend Evil. So he is playing real greedy right now, but luckily he is playing super smart, able to prevent any kind of scouting from going on. hasn't been able to establish this choke yet, which I know that he does want to do, because he is going to be a little bit nervous about the quick Hydra mass that Zergs are the Korean Zergs are very famous for doing. The first Corsair is coming out here, going to start picking away at these Overlords. No Hydralisks were actually built. A couple of them being built now. It looks like this one Overlord is going to die very slowly to that Corsair here. And he is going to be able to get up 4 cannons at the Zerg choke here. He's also going to get his first look at exactly what's going on for the Zerg player here. Hydra's popping out just in time to push this away. Queen's Nest is coming out though, so it looks like a very quick hive. I wonder if he's going to go for... I wonder exactly what he's going for with this very quick hive. Not completely clear yet. We do see the storm drop. It looks like he's not going to go for any kind of reaver drop or any kind of zealot drop inside of the base here. Just going to go for right away the High Templar drops and maybe some reavers at the front to prevent any crazy Hydralisk run by. Speed is done and range is about to be completed here. This Corsair just going to patrol, make sure that no Overlords are going to come out of this base. Was able to sneak one Overlord out here for that drone run away for those inevitable storm drops that will be coming, and we can see the Hydras getting in position to stop these drops coming out. A probe also could have come out here. A little bit nervous about that Korean counter pressure. I think he's going to try to build some cannons over here just to make sure that no Mutalisk run by or Overlord drops could come by. Do see the Zerg player now beginning to build some anti-drop defense around his main, and the Spire's coming up, so maybe this is just quick Guardians that he's going for. Again, another 7-minute hive here, which is very quick, and the first drop is going to be coming out. Drop ship speed is not done yet, but there is 4 High Templars in these drops, so if these do get close to those drones, there will be blood. We can see those pylons going across now, just to make sure that nothing gets by in that shortest distance space to those two players there. Corsair is going to come in here and see exactly what is going on here, and he does see a lot of Hydralisks in position here to pick off any drops, but it looks like, where did those dropships go? Dropships, okay, right up here. I don't know, they're waiting for a couple more, or for a reaver possibly? Not exactly. I guess he's probably just waiting for the shuttle speed to finish. Shuttle speed is now finished. He wanted to just be in the cover of those cannons so they didn't get picked off by any scourge or anything. And this first drop is going to be coming in. Oh, dodges those first amount of Hydralisks. Second Hydralisks aren't coming in here, so this drop could do damage right now. Going to click on the main. I did not see exactly how many drones that did kill. That did look like White was able to pull and not take substantial damage. He is up to 39 drones. I did not take a peek at how many drones he had before that. So I don't think it was as deadly as he wanted it to be, because 40 drones is still quite a bit at this point in the game for our Zerg player. Not as much as the triple Protoss here. Getting a lot more gas here, so Evil is planning to transition. Maybe now getting the double probes out for those maximize the gateways. Scourge now being built while he's replacing some of those drones that did die. Another drop going to come in here, but it's going to get picked off immediately. Not going to be able to drop a single decoy zealot even. Oh, excuse me. And yeah, so Zerg right now is getting in that dangerous spot here where you just haven't everything you invested in the early game has failed, and you have not applied really any pressure other than that. A couple of Reavers are here idly waiting by, not applying any pressure yet. I wouldn't mind seeing them start to poke away at this front, especially after you do a drop. You want the Zerg to be spending their money on something other than just replacing all of those drones. All of his upgrades are working nicely here. We do see those Reavers now pushing out, going to start applying some of that pressure here. Overlord's going to come around here. Well, I guess that Overlord was picked off at the top, so he does want something clicking on those minerals to be able to defend those drops. I am not seeing any of the Overlord carrying upgrades. He is placing some overlords in the back there while continuing to rebuild drones. The Reavers have paused their pressure for the time being now. Another drop being loaded up here from Legend Evil. Scourges are checking out what exactly is going on here, and Evil has been maxed out now. Guardians are being built here, and the Zerg is going to start massing up his Hydras, knowing that an encounter or a battle is going to be happening soon. Investing a lot of cannons into the side choke here, really expecting some kind of mutant run by your Guardians. The first little attack is going to come out here while the drop comes in. A Hydralisk is dropping in at 67 drones. Gets quite a few actually there. What was that? Like 25 drones there. At least 25 drones there. Maybe 30 drones there, 25 to 30 drones. I guess I said 65, didn't I? So 30 drones actually get taken out there, which is a big, definitely a success for our Korean Zerg here. More Reavers getting their fight on against these Hydras, absolutely demolishing them, but the Guardians from the top are going to start taking out this choke area. He has invested in quite a bit into these robotics facilities, so this will be a significant blow to Evil if this is all taken out and not being able to be defended. Evil now at 111 probes now, so he's only going to be able to have a 95 army, which it could be a problem if these drops don't continue to see success here. The Guardians are going to be pushed back here, and another drop is going to come in here. Going to run right into the Scourge. The Scourge are going to click on the dropship, but only take out one dropship. But it does look, oh no, the dropship does have something in it. And going to take out quite a bit of drones again, down to 22 drones there. So another big blow to the Zerg economy, but the Zerg is pushing out here and doing a fairly good job taking out this middle main vocal point of the Protoss army. He invested a lot, like I said, into this, and just does not have very much at home. He's going to have to rely on purely ground unit storms and Dragoon Zealots. Not going to be able to have any Reavers, which could be a problem. He does have 3 Stargates pumping out Corsairs, and he is going to go for another drop here while his frontal gets taken out. He was able to replace the drone back up to 43 drones here, and we're going to see how this drop does. This drop will be important. He needs to take out a lot of drones here. It's not going to be stopped by any units. He is very good pull here, only able to take out 3 drones that time before getting cleaned up here by those Hydralisks. And now the Protoss is going to be on the defensive. He is killing off some probes now, realizing that he probably has way too many probes. 101 is too many probes to have. He needs some army right now, because he is now going to be on the defensive end. 185 supply to the 113 supply, but that is classic Zerg style. They do let you put the pressure on. It looks like he is going to be able to have enough. This one robotics facility at home, making that one Reaver, is going to be very important here. He does have a High Templar that is going to eventually storm these Guardians, I imagine, but another drop coming in here, going to get picked off. Good thing he is probably keeping some Hydralisks back here at home, realizing that he is in a little bit of trouble here. Protoss is going to be able to defend on that, no problem. Yeah, we do have ourselves a game here. You can see Legend Evil up to 300 APM here. Going to be able to lift his APM to match up that of the Koreans, actually surpassing that of the Korean scans here. Dragoons coming over here, clearing up these Hydralisks, making sure that they don't destroy all of that defense for his drops here, making sure that he does have a clear drop path all the time. These Guardians are going to get taken out by these Corsairs here before they do any kind of significant damage. And we do see the Protoss now on the counter-attack here. 65 drones. He is back up to a good drone count, but while he was remassing all those drones, he doesn't quite have enough hatcheries to mass up an army as well. He is going to do a nice little surround attack here with these Hydralisks. Hydralisks do a very good job against these Dragoons without their High Templars or Reavers support here. Another drop gets in here. He's at 65 drones. He's going to do a big storm here and take out another 25 to 30 drones here. Oh my goodness, devastating. Another drop here. in another storm. Legend Evil getting those big time drops off. Those lurkers are not in time, and Legend Evil is going to take that first matchup. Protoss versus Zerg. He isn't going to allow the Korean to take that big time victory here, and yeah, he's going to take a 1-0 lead. Very good stuff for Legend Evil, getting those drops off. Those drops saving his life because Scan thought he smelled blood, but he just did not have the drone support to back it up, and he is going to fall to Legend Evil, aka just Evil now. I guess he left the Legend clan. And yeah, excellent game 1. Excited to see what game 2 has to offer. Alright, we have our game number 2. Scan, our Korean player, will beat Terran in the top right corner here versus Evil, again, going to be blessed by the random gods as Protoss. This will definitely be another hard matchup for Evil, as Scan's Terran vs Protoss is pretty good. Definitely better than his Zerg versus Protoss, even though his Zerg vs Protoss is no slouch. It definitely is the hardest matchup on this map, and he did do pretty well. Just Evil's consistent and persistent drops were able to just get enough damage done that Scan just could not hold on. Again, Scan is going to have to deal with the drops from Evil. We'll see what Evil's plan is here. We are just going to speed up these first couple of minutes here just to see what the builds are going. Nothing too important happens, or is going to happen, at least in this circumstance. No mid builds or anything, so nothing too important is going to happen. We are going to see the Nexus first from Legend Evil, and this time he is going to go for the 4 gateway follow-up. So not the quick tech that we did see before. He's going to go for a much more aggressive build. This could be good or it could be bad. We'll see how it goes, because he's probably going to skip on the choke here, and that could be a problem if Scan is able to sniff this out and do the counter pressure. Korean Marines can destroy Zealots, especially in the early game. If he's able to establish some bunkers and apply some pressure, you could be in trouble. Evil now going to send that double probe scout out. You see Scan doing sending out every single Marine that pops out, looking for a scout here, going to finally find his opponent here and know exactly what's going on here. See how long he keeps this SCV alive while continuing to mass out Marines. He is going to throw down a command center himself, so confident that I guess that means he's probably not going to apply too much pressure if he's throwing down that Nexus. He's not too worried about killing him right away. He knows exactly what the matchup is. He knows, well, he soon will know that he is up against a Nexus first with a not very quick tech push. He looks like, or he knows that Evil is investing a lot in these first initial Zealots. So he is just probably going to throw up a bunker at home to make a little bit of a wall so he doesn't die, and probably throw down a 3rd command center here and take it into the later game. Not going to be too worried about the pressure here, but he is going to still have to worry about it, as that is going to be a lot of Zealots popping out. And if he doesn't have a proper wall, this could spell trouble for him. A very late academy, that's of course after the command center. Still SCV out on the map here. We'll see exactly what his tech choice is. He does have enough for the Dragoon range if he wanted to go for super quick Dragoons. We got the first engagement here. The Marines not really being microed too well, but it looks like that the numbers alone will be able to take out that first batch of Zealots. And now possibly Evil is in a little bit of trouble now. These Marines are going to have to micro a little bit better though. Okay, they are going to get pushed back by these 4 Zealots. Going to keep that Terran at bay. Yeah, an interesting and very even start for both of these players. Evil playing a little bit safer this time. choosing a good build, keeping the Korean on his toes. First factory is going to come up. First comm stat is being built. Still only on one command center. Continuing to send these Marines out to scout around the base. Going to possibly find this proxy here. Looks like Evil probably wants to get some drops. That getting closer. A couple 8 zealots going to come in here. Going to try to get a surround on some of these Marines, but going to only take out 2 before just running by and getting a scout on himself. Also engaging outside of the choke is sometimes a little bit better, but he is just going to move them back in together. He's just going to run in here. Sacrificial scouting zealots here. Going to try to go after the SCVs here. Only going to be able to take out a single SCV. So probably not the best engagement, but he is confident now that he does have Dragoons production up. So he did go right for Dragoons in that Dragoon range, and now going to try to block the Terran player in, so he doesn't have to worry too much about any kind of Marine death push. A couple more SCVs being pulled out here to complete the wall. This Marine wasn't able to scout that proxy, and now he is going to potentially have to deal with this Dragoon. Side storm being built with the robotics facility, following it a little bit late on that robotics facility, but he was investing a lot of gas into those Dragoons. You can see the Terran player now starting to get his turret walling up, knowing that drops are going to be coming out here. I'm a little bit concerned that usually when Scan does something like this, he does get a 3rd command center. That's usually the most standard thing to do, but he is just choosing to stay on a single command center. Could be a problem here. The first Dragoon's going to be out here shooting down that first depot, and just these pylons are actually no kind of proxy, just going to be built for vision so that he can see if any drops are leaving Blue's base and he can plan accordingly. It's a nice move. He may add additional cannons later on when he does have a little bit more money to play around with. Siege mode is done. He does have 4 bunkers up here, so the Terran is safe as of this moment. It's going to come down to the drops potentially. Again, we can see Legend Evil actually a little bit worried about the tank drops himself, and going to start building up some home defense. No science facility, so he could potentially be building some dropships. First scan is going to go down. I imagine he's scanned right around here. Second scan is going to go down. I imagine he's scanned right there. Those are probably the 2 most common spots to scan. Check on the tech, and then check on what's going on outside of your choke here. Rebuilding those supply depots just to get a little bit more buff damage to that choke if Evil decides to push. Evil, though, not yet in position to push. You can see that his supply is a little bit higher than Scan. Scan building some bunkers back here to defend for the drop. So both of them playing very defensively right now, not wanting to die to any kind of early pressure. This definitely, I would say, favors the Terran, though, in this kind of situation. The Terran has a nice corner location, which will be nice and or be easier to hold the frontal push. Also, his nexus or his command center is nicely placed in the far back of his base, so he'll be able to make a lot of turrets as defense. First drop is being loaded up here. Still only on another scan. There we go. Did see the scan go down now. Didn't see that second scan, where the second scan went. So I'm not exactly sure what he saw, but he does know everything that's going on. The double arbiter tribunal. So maybe going to go for some recall, mass hallucinated recalls eventually. We do have the first Terran dropship filled and ready to attempt to drop. He did scan enough, and we can see that scan, when your main gets scanned at this point in time, you know that a drop is probably going to come. So Evil takes this opportunity to build a couple more cannons just to make sure that a drop doesn't come down. His money is super low. He's been spending it very nicely, so he knows that a drop would be not very good. The Zealot is going to see it. These these pylons were also able to scout it. So he's going to go in for a drop of his own, which is going to get taken out, while Dragoons also take out the drop of the Terran player. So very good multitasking by both of those players here. Dragoons able to take that drop out, while the Marines still were able to click on those dropships without being distracted by the Corsairs here. So very good, again, defensive moves by both of these players here. 2 more armies going to get thrown down, so Scan now is really going for that late game. Going to even start his air upgrades if he does need to start building air to counter those carriers. A ton of robotics facilities being thrown down now, and that gateway mass is starting to go. Very, very cautious on his defense here. Does not want to get dropped here, as that can be absolutely devastating. And yeah, we're really just waiting for the for this next stage of the game. You never quite know as a Protoss player if you want to bring it to a late game. You feel like you have an advantage, but once the Terran gets fully established, it is tough when they are in turtle mode. He did build that 3rd Nexus. He's also going to throw down 2 more command centers. He's going to build 2 more additional command centers, potentially for some nukes or just extra scans here. We do hear another scan go down. I don't see where those scans went. Lots of just pylons all around. He does not want to let the Terran leave his base without being noticed here. Not the biggest army from Evil out yet. I don't know where all of the supply is in right now. Starting to mass gateways out in the middle here. And yeah, continuing to have his money super low. Evil spending his money very nicely here. Lots of probes, building everything they can, everywhere they can here. He has lots of probes working overtime right now. A drop does come in here. It is not going to do anything though, using all of those Marines that he built at the beginning of the game just as extra defense to those drops here. We do see a little bit of a vulnerability here at the bottom. That's why he probably kept all of his Marines over here. But still able to not take any damage here. So this is going to come down to a big battle. Actually, he's trying to build a lot of Terran starports here. More than usual here. Not getting as many factories. So I wonder if he's just going to transition right into... I'm not sure why he would build starports all over them. Maybe Valkyries was going to be the call for him. Continuing to scan and know exactly what's going on. Exactly what he is up against. Nothing is quite hidden over here. He did start to build some starports over here. Maybe that is where the carrier mass is going to begin. That could be a little risky though, because once Terran pushes out here, he'll be able to have free reign on those stargates potentially before the carriers can pop out. So he is going to build a couple of starports down here as well. What is that building? Just another forge here. 4th forge. I'm not sure why he's doing that. We can see that he does already have 3 forges here, so that will be a useless forge here. A couple of Marines, looks like they're going to be killed off because scan is now max here, and yes, he is going to go for some of those Valkyries. A lot of defense at home for our Terran player, and another command center as well, so lots of command centers being built here. No attachment to the science facility, so not sure if nukes are going to be the gameplay for him. Another drop coming in here at the top. See how she does. The Marines are getting stimmed off here and going to focus fire as many dropships as he can. They all drop out, going to be picked off though immediately. Oh, 1 drop does get off. Gonna kill at least 25 SCVs there. So that was a decent drop, but you can see Legend Evil invested a lot into that. That was a filled up drop there. All of his units were inside of that. He definitely wanted to have more damage done there, as those SCVs are going to be replaced very quickly, especially with all of these command centers. More Valkyries being built, so this could be just pure defensive Valkyrie, going to Valkyrie siege tank, building a lot of starports here, lifting up his barracks to fit more factories in here. And yeah, more starports. So it looks like he's going to go very heavy into the Terran air. Kind of foresaw that a little bit with those super quick armories. Usually you don't get that quick of armories, but yeah, we're going to see how this pans out. continuing to build cannons and expand all over the map here. Evil does not want to die here. More scans being thrown down everywhere. Still looking out for that carrier transition. Killing off some more Marines so he can build a couple more better units. Marines are very good in the early game, but as the game gets later, they do lose value. You would rather have siege tanks and Valkyries than just a couple Marines. And it looks like he is now going to start pushing out here. A whole shit ton of robotics facilities being built down here. And we are now going to see the first push out by the Terran player. The Terran player is confident in his position here. He's confident in his drop defense. And he is going to start pushing out here, applying a little bit of pressure to that Terran mass in the middle of the map here. Another drop going to come in here. Not a full drop this time. Keep clicking on that. Going to come in here near the bottom. Valkyrie's going to blast that away though. Beautifully done there. Valkyrie just absolutely taking out that whole ball of drop there, and not going to let a single, I think a single unit did drop, but nothing significant was able to drop here. Just some random buildings all over the place for Legend Evil, and he definitely is going to be on the defensive here now. It's going to be a lot harder for him to transition into carriers if that was on his mind, but it just doesn't seem like that is anything he was interested in doing. Not enough starports anywhere. It looks like he really wants to focus on drops, I guess. I don't know why you need this many robotics facilities. Maybe just a mass Reaver drop. I guess that would be really the only thing you would want, unless you just wanted to be able to build 20 dropships at once. Corsairs are going to come up here to check out what's going on here. This Zealots and Storm are going to be able to take out that attempt to break the cannon. Looks like they've only taken out a couple cannons here. Continuing to scan all over the map. More cannons being massed by our Protoss player. Yeah, you can just hear that he has so many comm stats. He just scanned probably the entire map. He wants to know exactly what is going on here. It's not going to be easy to push through all of this, but I wonder what Evil's long-term plan is. We saw all these Arbiter Tribunals built, but not a single Arbiter being built. I'm going to take out this gateway, as it must have been causing him some anguish. Continue to build cannons around the Terran player. The Terran player going to come out here and push again. Oh, look at that. He actually was built some battle cruisers here, so he did get a attachment on his Terran, his science facility. Gotta keep blanking out. And keep wanting to call these tech labs in StarCraft 2. Battle cruisers are going to be pretty good. Battle cruiser siege tank is a pretty good combination. Valkyrie still has a lot invested in Valkyrie, so I wonder if he can transition eventually into just a purely air army. I'm going to throw one Side Storm from, okay, two Side Storms from the 4 High Templars. I'm going to get down. Legend Evil is maxed out again though, but it looks like, yeah, he is going to go for a mass Reaver drop. That is why he built all of those robotics facilities. Guess I should have seen that coming. Another High Templar Storm going to go down there with a couple of Zealots to buffer for him. But now that he's investing in this big drop here, his army is going to be really low, so it is going to give the Terran an opportunity to start taking down all of these cannons here. Just a couple of units here to try to push this back. Also to clear some supply for Legend Evil. Again, Legend Evil has 106 probes, which is a lot of probes. I guess it's not the worst idea when you have this many production facilities. You do want to be able to have a big bag so you're never worrying about money. But it is a fine line. This is going to be scanned. So Scan is going to be able to scan this big Reaver drop that is definitely going to be coming in soon time. He's trying to take advantage of all of that supply invested into these drops, so it's going to really put mad pressure on these cannons here. I'm going to put a bunch of dope-ass defensive matrices on these tanks, even though they're not going to be under any kind of pressure here. We'll see how this drop does. Evil has invested a lot of time and money and supply into these drops. He's also sneaking some battlecruisers around. They might Yomi gun that main here. We're going to have to keep an eye on both of these things right now. We're going to see, yeah, definitely those battlecruisers are going main hunting right now. This big drop is going to come in here. These Valkyries spot it immediately and are going to take it out fairly quickly. 3 Reavers are going to be able to drop and take out half of his SCVs actually right there. So not the worst thing. His bank is pretty big though. The defensive matrix does save the tank. And Yamioto gun on the main, going to be able to take out Legend Evil's main, and oh my goodness, that was pretty dope right there. 6 battlecruisers. That was his plan all along, building those things. He wanted to Yomioto that main, and he got it. Yomioto. Definitely, that exchange definitely goes in favor of Scan here. Going to be able to rebuild those SCVs very quickly. You can see his money is a little bit low because he did take a pretty big hit there. But now Evil's minerals are not going to be collected nearly as fast as he would like. Look at how the distance they have to go instead of nowhere. So what is that? It's almost like 100 extra feet they have to travel now, and that will significantly impact your mineral count. You will not be able to mass for a long time like he does want to with all of these production facilities. And this could spell trouble. That could be a killer blow if this game goes on for a super long time here. Scan was a very nice battle. Yamioto run by found his way. That's a good thing about being able to scan all the time. You basically have a map hack, and he can see the best trail. You can hear those scans constantly going down. He's just scanning everywhere, wants to know exactly what is going on and be able to counter it accordingly. He's just going to run these Valkyries in now that he knows that he just needs a ground unit to push through here. Yeah, he's purposely killing these off, running them right into cannon so he can clear some supply for his mass tank battlecruiser. He smells blood. He knows that Legend Evil will not be able to continue to match his production now that he has a main, and Evil did not kill all of the probes, so Evil doesn't have to rebuild all the probes, but you can see that yeah, it's going to be even tough to get that gas. He's going to have to eventually get an expansion to cut gas properly if it does get to that point. But I feel like Scan smells blood, and he is going to be able to probably get the blood here. He's going to be able to, I think, push out here, especially with these Zealots just running in a single file motion. They do need to spread out if they do want to do a better job of killing off these tanks. These tanks are going to be able to just micro back very nicely and deal with these Zealots. Probes now being sent in as well. I don't know if he wanted them to go that far, but going to try to rebuild some of these cannons. Legend Evil knows that if this middle is taken out, he is in trouble. He did not even consider going carriers. I guess, yeah, I really wish that he would have built some arbiters at least, but Evil focused on just trying to secure map control, and really he invested a lot in those Reaver drops that just did not do the damage that he wanted it to do, which allowed the Terran to move out and yeah, get that main here. You can see the money just slowly going down each time he masses up all of these Zealots here. It's going to get lower and lower, and it's just not going to be replaced as quickly without that main. That big gosu Nexus snipe by Scan is definitely going to be the play of the game, and I think it's going to be able to secure him a victory here. It's just a matter of time. I don't know what Evil can do to counter this. I don't know what Evil is trying to do. Going for another mass Reaver drop. I guess if he is able to get that main, he could even out things a little bit, but it might be too little too late. Scan has enough bang to be able to max, even if he was to lose all 53 of his SCVs and everything else. He's just massing full tank now. Just a couple battlecruisers at home and just going full tank. He knows that there is no carrier transition, so he is able to do this. Usually you have to worry about going this many tanks because they can't attack carriers, obviously, but this way, with all the scans you can hear, you can constantly hear scans going down. I can't even possibly know where they all are landing unless I would just put scans vision on only. This drop is going to come in here. There's no Valkyries to take it out, so more Reavers should be able to drop than last time, and only a couple of tanks here. The Reavers do drop a whole shit ton of Reavers, and it looks like that main is probably going to go down. So this time he does. Oh my god! 400 supply. He was able to mass repair that, and again, still has 17 SCVs that will be able to be replaced fairly quickly with all of those command centers. Did pull a couple of SCVs here, but how is Evil going to deal with his 200 tanks? His 200 tanks that he has. Attempting to build more gateways all over the place, but I just don't think he has the money to continue this charade up. Just massing zealots is his game plan, but mass tanks versus mass zealots are not a fair battle. Does not even have to necessarily siege them. And yeah, this is going to be tough to deal with. Fully upgraded siege tanks are no joke. And you can see them just taking out these zealots before they can do any kind of significant damage here. Too many tanks here. Not a single tank drop there. Going to attempt to Protoss shuttle some zealots on top, but that really only works if you have some tanks siege. Some tanks are going to siege up here, so maybe he can drop them here to try to get some damage, but defensive matrix is going to go down on these frontline tanks, making them even beefier, even stronger, and Legend Evil is going to tap out. And we are going to have the series evened up, 1 win each. A very nice move by Scan here, getting that very gosu battle cruiser Yamamoto to the main, and he's making up for those first 2 very lackluster series with some very gosu gameplay, some absolutely solid Terran play here, and yeah, going to be able to take out Legend Evil's very powerful Protoss in a very timely manner, considering how much buildings and everything was on the map. Scan dealt with it very nicely, very precisely. I think the most important thing with all those scans that he was doing is constantly scanning to see exactly what was going on. Knew he didn't need those Valkyries anymore, killed them all off, and that's what mass siege tanks, knowing that there's no carriers in sight. Really feel like you need to get carriers at some point. You can see the Arbiter is actually in production right now, but a little too late for Evil, and Scan is going to take that game. So we do have a 1-1 series, and we have ourselves the first even series. It's been a complete blowout every series so far, the first 2, and we have ourselves a good one. So we'll jump into game number 3 and see how she goes. Alright. See a slight misclick from Scan there, but Scan going to be Protoss. And Evil is going to be Protoss yet again. Another Protoss for Evil, so he cannot blame this series if he does happen to lose on matchup, because that's 3 Protosses in a row, and this is a best of 5, right? Yeah, so first of 3 wins, apparently that is what this is, and we'll see how she goes. And it looks like Legend Evil is going to go for a 3rd build that he has, so not the same build twice from Legend Evil. Going to go for a mid build, and this could be trouble for him. You do not want to mid build versus another Protoss. It could be good if Scan happens to go for that Nexus first, but if Scan goes for just his normal 4 gateway, 3 gateway build, he is going to get himself a significant advantage. He'll just have to defend that early on pressure and then be able to counterattack very easily, because this if you take out these gateways at the front, he's just going to have such an advantage. But it looks like Scan actually is going to go for the Nexus first here. So this now could be trouble for Scan here. Scan's really going to have to micro well here to stay alive here. Going to throw down a Forge, so that is pretty good. And if he is able to scout this out, he could be golden, but he is going to be in for a surprise. Okay, is he going to go straight down? He is going to... Okay, so thank God for his sake that he is going to be scouted, and now Evil is also going to know that he's up against a Protoss, so we'll see how this changes his idea too, because he wanted to apply a lot of pressure, but now he cannot. He does have to worry about any kind of counter pressure. Scan should be able to throw down just a couple of cannons here, and then with his little bit later zealots, he should be just fine. But if he wasn't able to scout that, you can see he also canceled that frontal pylon because he was going to try to choke in case it was a Terran and deny those Zergling scout. But now that he knows what's going on, he's going to be able to act accordingly, and I really think that's going to spell trouble for Evil. Evil's mid build really relied on the surprise zealots. His first two zealots are going to come out. He still does have some. Still have a chance to apply some pressure since Evil doesn't have a single unit yet, other than those cannons. But those cannons are going to pop out just in time to push those zealots back. He's going to build another 2 cannons here, and he sees that Legend Evil wants to now cannon push our Scan, but Scan is going to have a probe out on the map. I don't know if he's going to continue to scout with that or keep that to eventually build out here, because his army or his main base is going to be filled with cannons. So having a probe out on the map can be good if you want to build some gateways outside of your map and do some counter pressure. He actually did cancel his Nexus too, so now actually Legend Evil let's say has a significant advantage right now. Going to sacrifice, or try to at least sacrifice. He's going to keep them alive, so that wasn't a sacrifice. He's going to target down that first cannon here. These zealot count though is quite high for our non-player. The probe is going to try to sneak up there, but Legend Evil is going to be able to spot that out. We do see the significant battle here. Two zealots are outnumbered big time, but they do have the defensive advantage of these cannons. But the cannons are going to be up for Evil as well. He's not going to be able to get too close, but just having this initial engagement, be able to take out everything that Scan has, is going to be able to put Evil in a significant advantage. Able to get a couple of pylons established. He is going to be able to possibly have a little circle around here and defend this. Actually, oh my goodness, I thought Legend Evil did scout this out, but now he is actually going to be able to have a couple cannons of his own to counter this annoyance here. Yeah, okay, a lot of cannons here, so this isn't going to do any damage, but still having this established in your base, if you are able to get some Reavers up, they do not have a very long way to go, but Scan doing some cannons of his own on the other side of the map. Has one zealot also here being annoying. Looks like he picked off one probe, going to get a second probe and then continue to run away and distract him. Evil does have 2 cannons up here, so he's not going to die to this counter cannon pressure here. Continuing to counter this pressure here, Evil is continuing to build cannons here. And he actually is in zone of both of these gateways, so Scan here is going to have to rebuild his gateway somewhere, but right now he is just relying on cannoning Evil's base. So both of these guys are going to have the other guy's cannons inside of their base. And yeah, I don't know. I would say, I guess Scan has to be in the lead right now. He does have more probes and he does have a higher supply count, so his crisis control, that's the problem with these kind of games. But I guess Evil didn't know that. It is random versus random, so he went for this mid build and he's just trying to do what he can with the build that he picked here. Zealots are going to go out here in the middle and they're going to take out the gateways of Evil here. So neither of them are going to have any gateways. They're both going to be gateway-less here for a little bit here. Rebuilding, or actually a robotics facility out here for Scan here. Another Nexus going down for Evil here. I don't see any. Okay, Evil does have a robotics facility. 2 robotics facilities in the base. That's what I was talking about. They're not going to have the longest distance to go. And now it is a race to Reaverville here. Who is going to, I guess definitely not really a race, because Evil is definitely going to have his Reavers out first here. Robotics facility is going down here at home. Just throwing down more cannons here and a Nexus. So he is in a little bit of a supply and probe deficit right now, but he does have the tech lead. He has 3 robotics facilities in the base of Scan. So if Scan doesn't take this out, he is going to be faced with 2 Reavers very quickly. Now, if these Reavers get some shots off on the probe, that's GG. You cannot lose probes without taking out the probes of your enemy. He did invest in some of these cannons here just to be annoying. I don't see the probe around. Okay, the probe is coming down here. Possibly going to build a Reaver of his own there. His first drop is coming in, but it is just going to scout. I don't know if that's the best idea right now because he could have surprised him with that. But now the surprise will not be over. He wanted to get that scout off to see what exactly was going on here. And yeah, that could give away that his robotics facilities are way faster than scans here. One Reaver are going to pop out at least, and it looks like he's just going to push forward here, not going to even try to drop yet. A couple of Dragoons are out for scan here, and we have ourselves quite the crazy game here, turning out to be, yeah, a wild one here. Okay, I guess he's just going to use his Reavers as defensive Reavers once they pop out. He's going to have one Reaver on the defense here. He does have some Dragoons out here, making sure that this Reaver doesn't get too close. The Reaver is trying to, get as close as he can here. Going to run back into the cover of these Dragoons. He was being quite aggressive there with those units to try to pick off these Reavers. Going to be able to push him back, but now I don't know if you want to have a micro Reaver battle with the Koreans are pretty good. They're able to dodge the Scarab hits while also getting a Scarab hit of their own up there. So we're going to see, oh, look at that again. He dodged 2 Scarab hits so far. Koreans are pretty good. They do this a lot more in the low money. They finally did get a hit off there. Going to, right as I said that though, then he makes it lose to the Reaver. So Evil definitely getting the edge there. I guess 2 Reavers versus 1 also helps. Be able to keep both of them alive. Just barely this one's alive. 2 HP and those shields now regenerating on that Reaver. And he is pushing forward. Scan though getting a significant Dragoon count here. You can see his supply up 80 to 66. He was transitioning into more mass, he has more of a backup plan than Evil. Evil really going to go all in on these triple robotics Reavers. He really wants these Reavers to get some work done. Dragoons coming forward, but all of these Reavers are staying alive. Reavers and cannons are a pretty good combination. And this push is going to be hard to stop. These Reavers are getting into to range of the Nexus. He has to go now. Going to pick off, oh my goodness, these Reavers are low. Going to pick off 2 Reavers, but these Reavers are now in range of the Nexus. And if he gets these probes, it's going to be GG. If he gets its Nexus, it's going to be GG. And it looks like that there's not going to be anything to stop it now. Evil, very nicely done here. The mid-build, he is going to be able to save it. Scan has a lot of minerals right now, but he doesn't have anything to stop it, and his Nexus does go down. He is rebuilding a Nexus behind, so he isn't just going to give up after that. He does have a bank here, but does he have an answer to this Reaver pressure? Going to have to micro his heart out with those Reavers, and he does do us. It's crazy that he's quick enough to pick those up before the Scarabs explode on him, but the Reavers are just not stopping. Non-stop production for these Reavers right now. If he can get one more shot off on these probes, then it is absolutely going to be devastation for our Korean here. Oh, and there it is right there. We just saw the tail end of it. Going to sacrifice that Reaver for another half hit on all of his probes there. And yeah, this is going to be tough here. Just building up lots of cannons at home. He does not want to get counter dropped by any kind of drop. Scan a little bit late on his robot facility here. Going to try to push this back, but too many cannons, too many Reavers for Evil, getting closer and closer to that main, and it looks like Evil is definitely going to take this game here. Continuing to just have nothing to stop these Reavers, and these Reavers are going to continue to poke away at these probes and not even allow him to mine. One Reaver of his own here. Reaver trying to push away, but soon he's going to run out of money to even afford Scarabs here. Throwing down Nexus at home or over here to expand, but he only has 18 probes. These 18 probes are going to run by these Reavers just out of range. But look at that. Evil does have the Korean Reaver micro here. Just have to hold on to these last 2 Reavers basically, I think that once his Reaver dies, yeah, that's going to be GG. I don't see how Scan could possibly come back from this against such a high-level player like Evil. Just don't think Evil will allow it. You can see Evil up here just clearing out any last remaining things, and now Scarabs are starting to get expensive, and that is just not a good place to be in a Protoss versus Protoss, and Scan is going to tap out. Evil going to take a 2-1 lead, winning the Protoss versus Protoss despite going for a mid build, which, well, I guess mid build versus Nexus first. Ooh. I guess if you do a mid build, that's what you want to be up against. That does hard counter. Scan did have a little bit of an advantage for a little bit, but Evil investing into those robotics facilities right inside the base is going to cause a GG. And yeah, let's jump into game number 4. Very impressive APM for Mr. Evil. Yeah, let's check it out. Game number 4. Level up 2-1. Alright, game 4. And yet again, Evil, being blessed by the random StarCraft gods, is going to be Protoss. And Scan, unfortunately, is going to be Zerg, but fortunately for him, he is going to be cross-spawn. So, that is going to buy him some time to get himself in a fairly good position. Let's speed up this first bit again. Okay, Evil is going to go for a mid build again. Now his confidence should be sky high after defeating Scan's Protoss in a Protoss versus Protoss battle. And he's going to, go for some hella pressure again here. Gonna check for those hatcheries at the chokes. Oh. And he wants to apply pressure big time. Scan doing what he does and just getting out his quick hatchery and spawning pool ASAP. He's going to get his Overlord out front so he can see what is incoming. And the probe now is... Oh! The probe is going to skip past Scan. So Scan going to get some valuable extra time here. Actually, never mind. 2 Zealots are going to be coming in here before this first sunken is complete. So we are going to have to see some good micro here from Scan. Scan's going to have to invest in a couple more Zerglings than he normally wants here, as Zealots are going to run by. He's going to also establish a choke at the end of his choke. And Zerglings versus Zealots, not what you want to be dealing with right now. He is getting a very quick gas as well, so his mineral count is going to be quite low here. So far doing a pretty good job keeping them alive, just trying to poke away at whatever he can here. But now that there is this many Zerglings, it looks like there is going to be enough. He just wants to keep them alive to keep Scan distracted while he establishes these couple of cannons out here to make sure there can't really be any kind of counter pressure. A very quick gas and cybernetics core for Evil at home, so he isn't going to invest too heavily into this pressure. He's actually going to go for some potential. I think there's going to be a robotics facility. He's going to build a very quick robotics facility out here, so he can eventually shuttle in some Zealots and eventually a Reaver here. I think that's what Evil's game plan is going to be with that very quick gas. Yeah, I think, or maybe possibly Zealot speed would be another option. Looks like he's going to run by. Oh, no, okay, he's just going to run by a little bit to get that surround. Only 2 Sunkens up here, and without these Zerglings supporting, they are going to be able to take them out quite handedly here. So, Scan really getting in quite the spot here. So, actually doing a pretty good job of defending this. These Zerglings are all staying alive. Evil does not want to fight these Zerglings, and he's going to just let these Zealots run by again. We do see that robotics facility out there. I was right on my initial thing, and the gas is actually for a very quick Hydralisk den here. So I wonder if he just wants to get a couple of Hydras out? Maybe some very quick Hydra Ling counter pressure here. Did he get Zergling speed? I don't think those are quick Zerglings. Quick Zerglings are usually hella fast. So very good control for Scan here. not taking really any kind of significant damage at all. Able to, you could definitely was slowed down a little bit, but nothing too crazy here. 2 robotic facilities going to be thrown up here by Legend Evil. 1 cannon and a Nexus back at home with 2 more additional gas here for Evil. So he is transitioning into the mid game now, while Scam is still just massing up drones right now. Was able to stay alive from that initial pressure without over committing to really anything. He built just the right amount. These Zerglings are a little bit AFK now for the most part, but they may do okay if he is going to get some Hydralisk. We do see that Hydralisk speed being very quickly upgraded, so he looks like he's going to try to get those Hydra upgrades and then eventually mass into the Hydras once he has a significant hatchery count here and go for some counter Hydra pressure of his own. Going for, but as I say that, he's going for a layer as well, so I'm not sure what the layer is for. Maybe just Overlord speed. The first drop is going to come in here. He is shuttling in those Zealots, like I said before, with those very quick upgrades, and that will be good to have those Zerglings out. Those Zerglings are no longer going to be AFK. They're going to be able to fight these Zealots. Good micro pulling back the injured Zealots here, but too many Zerglings, I think. And yeah, the Zerglings are going to clear that up here. Another 4 Zealots though are going to be dropped in here. And now the Zerglings, along with the Hydra, very small numbers, but that should be enough DPS to take these out. Going to micro back a little bit to more of his Hydra brothers. The Scan is going to be able to, yeah, he's going to get the layer speed as well. So, yeah, the first Reavers are going to be out here. Reavers and Zealots, though, are pretty good together. And Reavers also do pretty good versus just Hydras, but Scan may be able to get a mass number out. He got up to 31 drones. He has a pretty good bank now. He could probably throw down a couple more hatcheries, but how dare I question Scan. And he's just looking to defeat this Protoss, this Evil who's been getting Protoss every single round, or every single game so far. Gonna throw down a couple more Sunkens up here to just delay this push here. Aspire is down, so the Koreans do like to go for a couple Mutas just to take out the Reavers and then mass Hydras to take out everything else. It is not the easiest thing to micro, but it is absolutely devastating. Evil going for those pylons around the map, playing it safe, doesn't not want to die to anything that he doesn't see. He at least wants to be able to see it to give him some time. He is across the map, so he should be able to act accordingly for the most part. He does have his Side Storm nearly done. No additional gateways though, so he has just been massing on 3 gateways, 3 starports, and 2 robotics facilities. So my one worry is that he is spreading himself a little thin here. He does have a significant supply lead, but if he does lose his army at one point, it's going to be extremely hard for him to rebuild it. These 2 Reavers, if they get taken out, are going to only be replaced by 2 more Reavers, so it's never going to really stack up too much here. And we do see that coming in now. The Reaver is going to only be able to take out a single Hydralisk, so not a good trade right there, right away. So a little bit of a victory here for and then going to be able to pick up that drop as well. Again, only taking out a single Reaver. The Reavers aren't nearly as deadly without that extra damage upgrade, where they can one-shot a hole and do splash damage on a bunch of units here. Building some cannons over here, so I'm not sure if that is the best investment with his money right now. So having 3 Corsairs out here, I'm a little bit worried for Evil right now. But again, the Protoss versus Zerg, one drop, a couple drops can absolutely change the game here. And now that he's massing up more robotics facilities, it looks like he is going to slowly transition into dropping. Now going to start throwing up some gateways at home as well. But yeah, like I said, if Scan's able to break out and kill this,
That's basically everything that Evil has. So that's my only worry right now. Doesn't have a huge amount of cannons. Only 4 cannons up here, 2 High Templars and 2 Reavers. So it's not going to be anything that he can break right now. But as he stockpiles up some mutas, which is what he's doing, he has a pretty big pile of mutas. He could break this out. The mutas can. I guess the mutas, though, they're going to have to deal with these Corsairs. Evil has 3 robotics building Corsairs, so Corsairs are pretty good versus mutas, building a nice sunken defense here, aka the best UMS out there. I bet you Scan's probably pretty good at that too. Look at that. Diagonally sunken. They just look nice right there. These Corsairs taking out any Overlord that dares not be accompanied by Hydralisks. And we see 24 mutas out here right now. Going to battle these small numbers of Corsairs. Going to take a pot shot off of it. A lot of High Templars here for Evil. Evil still has a supply lead, but what is he going to? How is he going to deal with these mutas? These mutas are going to get him some map control, while he is able to just buy himself some time. The mutas are actually going to go over to the main, going to be followed by the dropship. The dropship normally want to go for some counter pressure, but he feels like he needs to defend his main at home first. These High Templars do not have enough supply here, but the High Templars that drop over here, and he's going to go for a counter of his own here. Going to spread his mutas up. A storm does go down, trying not to storm his own probes here, but will it be enough? It is enough. So a big hit by Scan. Scan did though invest a lot of minerals. That was basically everything that he was doing for the last 11 minutes, was basically massing up those mutas. And he was able to take out that Nexus, which is a big deal. Taking out the main is just it's not a GG move, or it's not always necessarily a GG move, but like the later the game goes, the less just money you have to math. You really have to be a lot more careful with what you're building, because you just won't be able to mass 200 units constantly like we saw in that Protoss vs Terran game. This drop is going to come in here. They are a little bit injured, and they are going to pick out. Oh, but a drop does go down and actually takes out a significant amount of drones there. So Evil is going to really have to make sure that those drops are getting off and landing, or else, yeah, I think he is in trouble, because if Scan can just kind of turtle for a little bit and mass up, Evil just may not have the resources to defend it. And it's not like he has a significant production out. Still only 6 gateways, 4 robotics, and 4 stargates, which is like, it's not bad by any means, but it's just not ideal at the same time. Going to again get in here. Storm gonna go down. Not take out any drones with that one. Does he have another drone? He does have another High Templar in here that he is going to try to drop. 37, and oh my goodness, takes out another 25 or so drones there with that second sneaky High Templar. Very nicely done by Evil. He's gotten Scan on that now twice, where he just waits a little bit for Scan to think that the drop's over, drops him, and then gets him. So Evil doing what he can to stay alive here. Not too concerned right now about his supply, but you can see his gas also just absolutely brutal. He built all of these units in front of his thing, so yeah, he is going to have to do a gas expansion over here. So he just still like a little bit farther than here, but you can be fine. It is a little bit annoying, as yeah, just having a main, not having a main on this map does suck balls. But we'll see if anyone can do it. It is Evil. Lurker is going to come down in here to defend those drops, just massing up drones right now. And another drop is going to come in here. Going to not click on the dropship, so this is going to do some damage. Again, the dropship trying to follow around these High Templars, but he is going to be able to save them all this time. There is still a sneaky High Templar in here, though. Oh, he wanted to do it again. Evil, very sneaky with those drops. back up to 40 drones. So that is the one good thing about Zerg. If you do have the resources, you can remass up your drones fairly quickly. But he's just gonna have to deal with these drops non-stop, these non-stop drops from you, and he needs to make sure that Scan is broke, so he can have a chance to rebuild. Yeah, rebuild, or just build up, I guess. He didn't really have a chance in the first place. His mute is absolutely devastating. Going to again come in here, going to actually pick off the money dropship though that time, and not take any damage though. But you can see how concerned he is. He's going to be pulling those dropships every single time now, and now he is going to start applying some pressure with those Reavers. It is what you have to do. If you're going to kill all of those drones, you have to attack as well, or else the Zerg can just rebuild all of his workers, no problem here. Another drop coming in here. Only one High Templar in this dropship, though. It is going to drop. Not going to be able to land again, though. So very good defense for our Scan player here. Just staying alive very nicely here, knowing that if he just buys himself some time, he should be able to outmass a mainless Protoss fairly easily. Going to pick off these two Reavers again from Scan. The only thing that was pressuring him at the point, they were able to take out 5 or so sunken colonies. Another drop going to come in here, non-stop drops from our Protoss player, just trying to battle his way back into it. A couple Guardians are going to be rebuilt. They are a lot better at taking out Reavers than the Hydras, but here we go, another drop. 67 drones right now, dropping into the... Okay, not going to be able to get any damage done that time. He does have this Overlord out here, so we can click on that, even though he does tend to click on his gas a lot more than up here, which could be eventually a problem. But you can see the supply for the Zerg getting up there. He's not going to move out until he has a big enough army to kill Evil this time, because he knows if one drop, he can have that same issue that he had the first time, where he just doesn't quite have enough gas to kill his opponent. Another drop coming in here. Guardians are going to be here, ready to pick off any High Templars that drop without any Zealot to decoy for him. Rebuilding some of these Sun Colony, just making sure that he doesn't die yet. Flying around with these drops here, trying to get the Zerg out of position, trying to outrun those Scourges. And still doing a pretty good job, Evil is. He is keeping his mineral count up fairly high, higher than one would expect. His drop is finally going to find an opening. Going to be able to throw a drop here. Clicks out about 8 drones that time. But not what he wants. The Zerg money is low, but he is up to 68 workers now. So that will be able to just pool out of control eventually, making a lot of Guardians here. Still only on 6 gas for the Zerg player, but I guess his gas is significant. He did take some damage from those drops. And just massing up more hatcheries. He did have a Defiler Mound. I feel like that is just for... Another drop coming in here. Going to throw down 2 High Templars. The High Templar is not in range of that Nexus. Going to just try to take out some of those defensive Hydras. Not exactly what you want in that circumstance, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And I just feel like Evil's time is running out. He's now done like 7 or 8 drops that just have not done enough damage, and you can see Scan just growing and growing here. Going to start pressuring here with those Guardians here. Another drop going to try to push in. Not much anti-air here. Only 1 defensive High Templar with 2... Where did that drop go? I don't know where that drop went. Hopefully I don't miss it. Yeah, okay. Corsair is going to try to do what they can, pushing these Reavers back. Okay, here we go. I see it now. Gonna try to come in from the bottom here. The hurt dropship is the full one though. It is going to get in here a lot of... Oh my god! And he actually is going to get that off. Going to get like, what was that, 50 or so drones there. But is he going to have enough to stop this counter pressure? I think he definitely is. Not a lot there. So, Evil actually going to be able to hold on here. Scan sending in some Hydralisk here, but just not enough. Another drop, another High Templar, sneaky High Templar did try to go down there. Down to 25 drones though. So like I think it's crazy how quickly that can turn around here. It'll be amazing if Evil does end up winning this despite losing his Nexus so early on. And yeah, we're just seeing Scan rebuilding those drones. It looks like a big push is going to come in here for Evil. I'm losing my voice a little bit. Too much talking. These series are too long. Go to push in here. Not much defense here for Scan, so maybe Scan is getting a little bit too thin here. He is back up to his 61 drones. So if he does have an opportunity to mass up, he should be Gucci, but I don't think Evil is going to let him do that. He is just getting up another drop here, ready to rumble. A lot of Reavers here, going to break all of those last remaining sunken defense here. But more Guardians, and he doesn't have much other than just really Corsairs to deal with his Guardians. All of these Reavers, I guess it's High Templar. High Templar are pretty good versus Guardians as well, but you can see excellent spreading out by our Zerg player. Another drop going to come in here at the bottom. We see 66 drones. Is he going to target it? Not going to target it. The Corsairs doing their job. Going to not get that High Templar off though. And now these Guardians are pushing away at the choke here. Corsairs are going to come in here. A couple of Hydralisks though going to come and back up this back this up, and if this middle goes down, it's going to be trouble for Evil, as Evil does not have anything back at home, and he doesn't really have the minerals to rebuild everything. So this could be pretty good here. A Storm going to go down, 2 Storms going to go down, taking out a whole ton of Hydralisks there. But yeah, Scan does have now the bank. He probably could do with a couple more hatcheries, but cannot get pushed back once again. Those High Templars in this choke are pretty good, but more and more Guardians are here. Scan almost maxed out. See a couple Devourers back here as well. We do see another drop coming in here. Only a single High Templar though, no Zealots or anything to block for it. The Hydra is moving forward, going to go pick off these expensive units. These Reavers, as they pop out, are going to die. Lots of Guardians here, nothing to really deal with them. Not enough High Templars, not enough Corsair. Going to try to go for a drop to maybe just paralyze Scan, but Scan does have a significant bank here. He Devours in pretty good position. Going to not get anything done here, and yeah, I think if this middle does, yeah, there we go. Evil is going to lose a Protoss versus Zerg. I don't know how much that had to do with his main going down, but I feel like it did have a lot to do with that. He just did not have the production and everything that he wanted. Pretty good job on those drops and everything. You can see him just starting to mass up hatcheries. And we're going to have an even series. So 2-2. I believe this is a best of 5. So next game wins. We have a final game. Evil was on match point. He got Protoss so many times. We'll see what he gets in this next game. We're into it. We're jumping into it. Match point. 2-2. Each player. And now Evil will be Zerg in a very close position to Scan's Terran. So this will be a good matchup. Finally, Evil is not going to be Protoss. He's going to have to win this final match as Zerg. He's had plenty of opportunities as Protoss, every single match so far as Protoss, and Scan's been able to hold on. So we'll see if Scan can do it as Terran versus Zerg. They are in extremely close positions. This could benefit the Terran in the early game, and will definitely benefit the Zerg if it goes into the late game. Evil Zerg is no push over Zerg, but oh my goodness, and look at this. We are going to see a quick factory build from Scan here. Looks like he's going to go right for factory, so this could not work out any better for him. Doing this build versus a Zerg this close is going to be absolutely devastating to try to deal with. Usually you can get your Marines and everything out, but going to be able to tech up this quickly is going to be really tough for Evil if he's not able to scout this out and possibly apply some counter pressure. It is a little bit vulnerable to early pressure. If he was to do like some kind of 5 pool, this would be the build to do it on, but he is of course not going to do this on match point. Scan having the cojones to go for a factory. A factory build. I'm losing my voice here a little bit. I can feel it in my throat. Yeah, let's see how this unveils. If Scan can, yeah, Scan's gonna scout this right away too. They're gonna know the matchup. Evil, you can see the 2 drones just waiting to get those Sunkens up, knowing that the Koreans are super duper aggressive, but we have the double factory build coming down from Scan, and this is versus Protoss, you can get those vultures out. Versus Zerg, you can get that quick starport and those siege tanks out just so quickly. And it's tough to deal with. It's one of the most risky Terran builds to open up with. And yeah, if these Zerglings counter pressure, they actually may be able to get they'll be very annoying here. You can see 2 Marines are being built out here, but 2 Marines are no match for 5 Zerglings. He is going to see what he is up against. He is not going to be thrilled to see that these factories are built so quickly. Factories up before he has even started gas here, so he is going to have to react. Okay, a couple vultures are being built just to make sure that he isn't going to die to any crazy mass Ling build. Yeah, see, now he is going to build. Look at that quick starport too. This is just going to be tough to deal with. Vultures and Marines going to take quick work of these Zealots, and what is Evil going to do to try to counter this? Zerglings are all going to be chased down and picked off, and yeah, it's going to be tough. This is going to be tough. As a Zerg player, even when I see it being built right away, I'm not exactly sure what to do against this. Normally you have a little bit of time to mass Sunkens until those siege tanks push forward, and then you can do something, but this is such a strong build versus the Zerg. Scan just able to really pick the right build here. I don't see siege mode being built yet. Going to go for those 2 tanks and a Wraith really quickly. Even the Wraith here is going to be tough to deal with. He's not going to have too much anti-air. Looks like Evil is going to go for a very quick layer. Possibly going for a muted counter. I guess muted would be pretty good, as you're not going to have any Marines to deal with, mostly just siege tanks. So I guess that is a pretty good idea here for Evil. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea, actually. Pretty good idea. I like it a lot. Because yeah, only 4 Marines, like 2-3 mutas can take that out, especially if they're microed properly. But the Wraith's gonna come in here and start taking out Overlords though too. No anti-air right now for our Evil player. Not even a evolution chamber to build a spore to protect these Overlords, so he is gonna get supply stuck, and that is just going to not be fun to deal with. Just a single Wraith going to be doing massive damage here. The Academy and a command center going down. For our Terran player, going to take off another Overlord, 2 Overlords down. These Overlords are going to try to run home, but what are they running home to? Spire is going to be built. Is it going to be scouted? Yep, the Spire is going to be seen by the Wraith here. Wraith is just looking for those couple more Overlords here. These tanks still don't have siege mode yet. You must have forgot that for a quick second there, or not had enough gas for it. But yeah, these Wraith are going to just take out so many Overlords. They're just not what Evil wants to be doing right now, is rebuilding his Overlords. He wants to be trying to get these mutas up. He does have quite a bit of gas down, and a pretty good drone count here, as he just been massing drones right now. Oh, Accidentally over-clicked that. 2 more factories being added on in a dropship here. He does have an armory almost done, so he will be able to get some anti-air with Goliath, but yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. It's not an automatic GG. Evil is no slouch here. Does have a single spore colony up here to try to defend some of these overlords. 4, almost gonna be 5 overlords taken out here. So this raid definitely was worth it. Oh no, it actually saves it. Spore's pretty good. Overlord does stay alive. And yeah, these 4 tanks just pushing forward. A drop, a vulture drop. You don't see this every day on fastest map coming in here. A vulture drop coming in here, going to drop out. Is he going to go for the workers? He is going to go right for the workers. Drone or vultures are pretty good versus drone. And another drop. Or they just run by, possibly running by here. So lots of vultures here, going to just kick away at these drones here. Mutas are out though to do a counterattack after this. I wonder what the anti-air force scan is. Scan right now only has those 4 mutas here. Not much anti-air. A Valkyrie being built and a couple of Goliaths right now being built at home. The mutas are going to go for a counterattack. Over here, just not very many mutas, so going to try to pick off that, or does pick off that turret, and is going to pick off that Valkyrie as well. No, going to save the Valkyrie. Muta's taking a lot of damage. 4 Goliaths coming out here. Going to push those Mutalisks back. Evil doing a pretty good job considering, but he still is on the ropes for the most part. Going to try to pick off these frontal tanks. A couple of Marines are enough to pick off these very low Zerg Milos, and the Goliaths are here to protect. Double Valkyrie as well. Valkyries are as hard of a counter as you can get to quick mutas. And yeah, it's gonna be tough. He is gonna get that hive out. If you can get Guardian Devour out, it would be pretty good, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to live that long. Only a couple more sunken colonies are left at the front here. More starports and factories being built on. The dropship just waiting to be loaded up. Hardly any drop defense here for our Zerg player, so he will be vulnerable to that. A single tank drop could be devastating. If he does load that up right now, it would be gosu, but looks like it's going to go up to reinforce here. Muta's going to come over here and try to take out the engineering bay, but they are going to run into these turrets, building these turrets on the side, and having these Valkyries is going to be pretty devastating. Going to have Scorch is pretty good versus Valkyries in these small numbers. But yeah, once they get out of control, it's going to be tough. This is a game point matchup. Evil is so close to defeating a Korean in the first round, but he has his work cut out for him as Scan is at 123 and a fully meched up army, and just getting stronger and stronger as Evil is fighting for his life. Not even going to go for Defiler, is going to go right for that Greater Spire. You can see his gas is banked up a lot, but he just doesn't have the hatcheries. Only one for, like, doesn't have the hatchery. 3 hatcheries, additional hatchery, trying to build a 4th additional hatchery. But it is looking tough for him. These tanks just going in untouched, pushing away at all of Evil is ground, and just macroing back at home like a monster. Absolute monster. Gonna get all of his armories up to go for full upgrades, preparing for the late game if this somehow doesn't destroy him. Evil doing what he can, massing up as many sunkens as he can to keep himself alive, but it may just be too much. Greater Spire is going to complete. Let's see how many Guardians and how many Devourers he does get. If he does just mass all Guardians, the okay, there we go. He's going to build the Devourers first and then a couple Guardians. So it looks like 5 Devourers and 8 Guardians versus a 132 supply Terran player who is going to be able to build 8 Valkyries at once now. Throwing, yeah, with also Goliath here. I'm not sure if this will be good enough. 1-1 upgrades too on our Terran army here. Or just 1 upgrade, I guess. Goliath's going to move forward. Even Goliath in these numbers. Oh my goodness, are going to be devastating. These Valkyries, Goliath pushing forward. Not even worrying about the last couple of Sunkers and Spores here. But okay, look at that. They do hold their own. Devours are pretty strong, pretty hard to kill, and actually is going to push the Terran back a little bit. So very well done by Legend Evil here. Going to push that absolutely crushing attack forward. Scan forced to pull back all of his tanks here. Does not want to have to rebuild them all. Building a bunch of Goliath, more starports, and vessels. Vessels are also going to be devastating. Bunch more command centers being built by Scan. And yeah, it's going to be tough. Absolutely not going to be an easy job for Evil to come back. But if anyone can do it, Evil is the man to do it. Just a ton of command centers being thrown up right now. I feel like that is an indication of nukes, but I was wrong last time. He could just go in for those battle cruisers again. Tons of scans. I guess it could be just scans too. He loves to scan. And if you know exactly what you're up against, it's just way easier to build what you need to counter it. So they could just all be for scans. You can see Evil slowly reclaiming his base here. But with Sunkens and not hatcheries, what normally you would want, still on a very low hatchery count here. Trying to rebuild some hatcheries at the very back where they are a little bit less vulnerable. Guardians going to not have an answer to the second round of Eradicate and Valkyries. Valkyries going to be fighting against these Devours, going to fall back again. The one air upgrade also going to be absolutely important here. You can see Evil doing his best to pick away this army with his Guardians, trying to retreat back before they get taken out by these huge missile flying Valkyries. A couple of Scourge did land there, but yeah, it looks like once these Devourers fall, there isn't going to be any anti-air here, and it's going to be tough for Evil to rebuild that, while also trying to build the drones to rebuild these creep colonies. One Lurker is out. He does have a Defiler mount out, so that actually could be really important too. If he is able to get a couple of Defilers out to just get his choke established, it could be good. Where did all those vessels go? He is stockpiling a bunch of vessels over here. Maybe, oh, he did. He forgot Eradicate here. So, he is going to have to wait for that upgrade to complete before they can do anything really important. One Lurker is out. He probably can just use a scan to detect that. It could even potentially die to a splash damage. You can see it did take a couple of hits from... There we go. It did die to splash damage there. Not even going to have to get a scan out there. More Valkyries, and yeah, Evil's going to call it GG. And in an epic series, Scan is going to advance. Very good series that time. We finally made up for those first two. Very high level stuff there. Just a real tough position for Evil. He had his opportunity getting Protoss all those times in the beginning. Wasn't able to capitalize. And he is going to fall to the Korean Scan. But a very good series nonetheless. And yeah, just well done. We'll see what Scan can do in the future. He is on the Korean bracket. We'll throw up that bracket again right now, so you can see he's going to have a tough road ahead of him. I believe he's on the Korean side. There's like 4 Koreans on Group A, I think, and then Kokanee and Dingo and stuff on Group B. But yeah, you guys can see that yourself on the brackets that I'm showing you now. I believe the next series is Sky High, aka Boxer, aka First Class versus Hydra. So that should be another really good series. Don't know if it'll be as high level as this, but it will be a very high level nonetheless. Interesting, not exactly sure who will win that. And might come down to matchups, but will they be able to counter it like Scan defeating Protoss so many times? But yeah, great series. And looking forward to see how the series goes, to see who wins. GG, and see you guys next time.